So it is uncertain times for the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy Code, following that announcement by the IEBC that the signatures, Okoa Kenya referendum signatures submitted to the Commission by CORD fell short of the 1 million mark or threshold required by the Kenyan Constitution, meaning that Okoa Kenya referendum push is officially or legally dead. Or is it? Let's now bring in political analyst Danstan Omari to the studio. Thank you, sir, for coming to KTN Prime.
Thanks a lot, Ben, and it's quite a good show today in the evening.
So has the Okoa Kenya referendum collapsed? Was this expected at some point?
There are two ways. One, it has collapsed because the IEBC has announced that the threshold has not been met. Two, it has not collapsed because there's a possibility that that court might move to court and demand to scrutinize the signatures, and the IEBC produces the signatures that they are said to be a forgery. So there is a possibility that it might turn out to be a battle in the courts, because there is a right always to appeal before the court to get what you want. Number two, there is a possibility that it will have died because the way CORD looks, CORD was not very clear that it wanted that referendum to move to its logical conclusion. So they have somebody to blame for failure for that to achieve. Two, Jubilee came out very clearly in an unprocedural manner. The first time, Aden Duale plus the Jubilee MPs came out saying that the signatures that CORD presented were fake. Today, IEBC talks about that the signatures were fake. Is it now going to take a political angle that the IEBC is not an independent party, it's not an independent organ? Because if the members of Jubilee had information before the announcement was done today, that raises the credibility issues and the integrity issues of the IEBC.
Right. Legally, from a legal point of view, what happens next? What next for CORD on this Okoa Kenya referendum push?
As I've said, legally, they might opt to move to court just for PR purposes and to be seen that they are fighting for a cause they believed in. But substantially, if the signatures are found out that the signatures were not genuine, then the question is it by accident that the signatures were fake? Or is it by design that CORD put in some signatures that they knew that they were fake, so that the thing dies and they blame Jubilee for that? That is the political angle.
Right. That angle aside, let me ask you a question we're asking our viewers tonight on our big question discussion. We're asking them, should CORD give the push another try? Do they have enough time before the August 2017 general election to do that?
They have no time, considering that the general elections is slightly 1 year and a few months to go. So definitely collection of other signatures, mobilizing the people, verifying those, they have no time. They are focused on the elections of 2017. And in my own perspective, the way I look at it, by design, CORD made sure that the referendum will collapse and blame IEBC for that. And they were not prepared to carry on until the logical conclusion. So to me, it was a planned way that went according to CORD's plan.
How do you see this panning out, politically speaking, in the coming months?
It is going to be chaotic for the IEBC. One thing, you remember, Jubilee has said the IEBC was not fair and transparent in the elections in Malindi. CORD has persistently said the IEBC was not fair all over. KANU has the same story. So we have almost unanimously, the members of parliament will agree that the IEBC is not the organ to take the elections in 2017.
All right, final question. What is your take on the fact that, like you mentioned, the Jubilee leaders came out a few days ago and said or delivered the message that IEBC did today, that there are some fake signatures? Did Jubilee have a hand to play in this?
Jubilee might not have had a hand, but by virtue that they said it and it has come out. Is it the same story of Bishop Muge? He was threatened, he got his accident, then people said logically, if you say this and it happens, then you have some information about it. Jubilee will really carry a big burden to exonerate themselves from the fiasco that is going to come out as from today onwards tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Danstan.
Thanks a lot.
Our in-house political analyst, Danstan Omari, just giving his perspective on how this is likely to pan out. IEBC announcing that the 1 million signature threshold required by the Kenyan law was not met by the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy Code. Keep sending us your views, your SMSs and tweets